Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on capitalization. And before we start with our lesson on capitalization, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, create two, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of capitalization. All right, so we are doing capitalization. Our chapter is capitalization, English language arts, grade 2, and the lessons that we're going to be focusing on today under the chapter of capitalization is capitalizing the names of peoples and pets, capitalizing days, months, as well as holidays, and also capitalizing names of places and geographical features. All right, so we say that we are capitalizing, we're starting with names of people as well as pets, right? So firstly, when we write our names, right? Well, let's say names of people, it basically starts with a capital letter, right? So if you, for example, write your name and then you are going to write your name with a capital letter, right? And not with a lowercase. Um, for example, if your name is Anne or Anna, just an example, I'm just coming up with random names. If your name is Anna and your surname is Johnson, and then we need to capitalize the A in Anna and the J in Johnson, right? Because we capitalize names of people, right? As well as pets. So, as much as we, for example, we usually just say, oh no, this is my dog, this is my cat, right? But of course, if you like have a pet and then you'll name your pet, right? So, whatever name you give to your pet, right? Sparky, Spotty, whatever the name is that you give to your cat, your pet, sorry, that we also capitalize. But if you're just going to say this is my dog or this is my cat, dog cat, that is lower cases, right? That is small letters. But if you give the name of your pet and then we capitalize it, right? So names of people, we capitalize. Whether they have three names, four names, we capitalize names of people and we capitalize names of pets, right? Especially names of people needs to be capitalized, right? Remember, some people even take offense if you don't even capitalize the name. So names of people, name your, whether it's your first name, your second name, or even your surname, it needs to be capitalized or it needs to start with a capital letter. Names of pets, right? Whichever pet that you have, the name that you gave to your pet, that needs to be capitalized. But once again, if you say this is my dog, this is my cat, this is my chameleon, this is my fish, then that needs to be in lower cases, right? Then we're also capitalizing names of the months of the year, days of the week, and holidays, right? So we also capitalize holidays, including words like day and eve. For example, so we say that we are capitalizing months, right? Which means that literally the months of the year is going to be capitalized, right? So it's January, see, it's February, March, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So we capitalize the names of the month. So the months of the year, it needs to be capitalized. Like currently we're in the month of February. Whenever you write down February, it needs to be written with a capital letter, right? After February, we're going to March. Then we have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. If you, for example, say that your birthday is the 10th of October, and then you're going to write 10 October and you're going to capitalize October, right? So you capitalize October, right? Because months of the year needs to be capitalized or it needs to be written with a capital letter. Then also the days of the week, right? So even days of the week needs to be capitalized. So we have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we capitalize the days of the week even, right? So the first letter of the days of the week needs to be capitalized. So even if they ask you, what day is it today, right? And you're like, no, it is Friday. Then you're going to write down, for example, Friday, and they ask you, what is the actual date, right? So you're going to be like, okay, no, it's Friday, and it is February 16, right? So that is basically your date today as well as the day. So basically, the day of the week needs to be capitalized as well as the month of the year needs to be capitalized. You see, like it's currently still the 16th by you in Canada, and currently in South Africa, it is the 17th already because now it is past 1 in the morning. But months of the year, days of the week, we need to capitalize. The first word of the months of the year, the first word, first letter, sorry, of the days of the week needs to be capitalized. Then we also capitalize the holidays, right? So whichever specific holidays that that you have within, let's say, within your country or nationally. And when I say nationally, then for example, Christmas is nationally, right? So Christmas and Easter, right? But then you also have like specific holidays within your country. So then you also have holidays within your country, right? And I know I know you guys are there's a public holiday or there's some holiday on Monday, but I'm not sure what the holiday is actually. But when we, for example, write the holidays, right, then we need to capitalize holidays. So you capitalize Christmas, you capitalize Easter. If we, for example, made mention of New Year's Eve, then we capitalize New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve. Oh, why am I saying evening? So New Year's Eve, or we capitalize New Year's Day, right? Because this is also something that is being celebrated nationally, right? Where nationally, which I mean like all over the world, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Easter, we celebrate either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending on how you celebrate it at home, right? So even if when you include Eve, which is for the day of the day before, or specifically on the day, you need to capitalize that first letter of that word, right? And then even Good Friday, like when we have Easter, then even if we made mention of Good Friday, which is a holiday, then we need to capitalize Good Friday, right? It needs to be capitalized, and that is the Friday before our Easter Sunday. I think in Canada, you guys also have Canada Day, and that is July, I think the 1st of July, right? But that is also a holiday, right? Which means that Canada Day, right? We capitalize the first letter of that word needs to be capitalized. Then we have Labor Day, it needs to be capitalized, right? And that is but just a few examples of holidays. So which means that we need to capitalize we capitalize names of we made mention of names of people, right, as well as pets. That is the actual name of your pet or the actual name of a person, right? And then we also have to capitalize the months of the year, we capitalize the days of the week, and we capitalize the holidays. And we capitalize the holidays, including the word such as eve and day. Right? So this is but a few examples of the public holidays, which is nationally as well as within your country. And we say that you capitalize it, meaning that the first letter of that word, or let's say the first letters of that word, needs to be capitalized. All right, then we also capitalize names of places, which is like your cities, your states, your country, your continents, right? We need to capitalize that, right? So, whichever city that you live in, you need to write that with a capital letter. So, for example, you live in Canada, which means that whenever you made mention of Canada, Canada needs to be capitalized because it's the name of a place, right? If you made mention of your continent, you write it down. For example, I live in the continent of Africa, right? The country is South Africa, and the city in which I live is Cape Town, right? So basically, I need to capitalize those words, right? So the first letter of each one of those words needs to be capitalized. You capitalize the continent, the country, the city, right? Like we don't say state, but we will say our province. And that all needs to be capitalized. We capitalize the names of places. We even capitalize places that is built by people. We capitalize buildings, monuments, bridges, streets, right? That is what you need to capitalize. You capitalize rivers, right? Mountains, deserts, and forests. You capitalize that. And we do not capitalize words like the or of, right? Like for example, if there's for example, let's say like here, the Declaration of Independence. We don't capitalize the and we don't capitalize of. Only declaration and only independence we capitalize, right? As well as the Soviet Union. The only time we capitalize either the or of is when it is in the beginning of a sentence or the first word of a sentence. All right. So we see that we capitalize names of people, names of places, we capitalize months of the year, days of the week, and we capitalize holidays, right? And then we also made mention that we capitalize places, buildings, bridges, water, bodies of water, which is like your rivers and seas, mountains, deserts, forests, and we also capitalize monuments, right? All right, and we are doing our tutorial lesson on aplusstudents.ca. So we're going to our first lesson, which is to capitalize the names of people and pets. So we're going to look at our, let's say, our sentences or let's say activities before we go to our test, right? We say that we capitalize names of people as well as names of pets. So now it says you need to click the correct, you click to correct the capitalization if needed. If the sentence is already correct, then don't make any changes. So if the sentence is correct, we're not making any changes, right? But if it is incorrect, then we will underline it and we will then, for example, write the correct answer. For example, it says, did your neighbor teach Rex to sit or stay? So Rex is a pet. So Rex is the pet, right? So they want to know, did your neighbor teach Rex to sit or stay? Which means that we're going to underline Rex specifically because we said Rex, who is our pet, needs to be written with a capital letter, right? So did your neighbor teach Rex capital letter to sit or stay? Right? Meaning that they want to know, did you actually train Rex? And we say that we capitalize names of people and pets, meaning, for example, Laura, Sparky, Rex, Spotty, um, a name. I'm just going to choose any name, Samuel, right? These are just names of people or names of pets. We listen to Megan sing every day. And here we have our word Megan. Look at Megan. Do you think that is correct? Because Megan is written with lower cases. So we listen to Megan sing every day. Megan is the name of a person. So Megan is the name of a person. Should Megan's name be written with lower cases? Or do we need to capitalize Megan's name? And if we write or rewrite or we correct the sentence, then we say we listen to Megan with a capital letter. We listen to Megan sing every day. So Megan is capitalized, right? Capital letter M for Megan because it's the name of a person. What a nice voice Jill has. So, what a nice voice Jill has. So, Jill, is that correct how we write Jill's name? Or do we write Jill with capital letter? So, Jill being a name of a person, right? We need to capitalize Jill. So, which means that what a nice voice Jill, capital letter J I double L. So J for Jill needs to be capitalized because it's the name of a person. So Jill being the name of a person needs to be written with a capital letter. All right, now we're going to our test, right? Where we are going to be capitalizing the names of people and pets. So we need to, for example, select and correct any changes that needs to be made within the sentence. It says, is Linda at the library today? So, is Linda at the library today? So, Linda, is that written correctly? Or do we write it with like option one, capital L for Linda, or option two, lower cases for Linda? So option one or option two. All right. So if we, why did you remove the answer? Because we need to capitalization for Linda. Yes, is correct, right? So Linda with the capital letter L is correct. So well done. All right. We need, it says, give the fruit to my sister Sandra. So give the fruit to my sister Sandra. Is Sandra, do we have, is the answer option one, which is Sandra with a small s, or Sandra with a capital letter S? Option two. So Sandra is an option one, which is correctly written, or option two, correctly written. Sandra with a lowercase s or capital letter S. All right, and we say, give the fruit to my sister Sandra. Sandra with a capital letter S. Right, so well done. Sandra with the capital letter S is correct. And does Luke want more popcorn? Luke. Luke. Is that written correctly? The name Luke, is that written correctly? Or is the first option correct or the second option correct? Luke. Does Luke want more popcorn? All right, and if we choose the correct word or the correct way in which we write Luke, and then we choose option two, which is capitalized Luke. Luke, well done. So Luke with a capital letter. And every afternoon, Wilson plays football. Wilson. Is Wilson's name written correctly? Or not even correctly, but yeah, the form, is it written correctly? Or do we write it like option one, which it stays the same, or option two, which is capital letter W for Wilson? So Wilson. Do we write it like option one, or Wilson like option two? All right. And if we were to choose the correct name in, or basically the correct way in which we need to write the name Wilson, then we're going to choose the second option. And yes, the second option is correct. So Wilson with a capital letter. So well done. Wilson with a capital letter is correct. All right, and then we said we are capitalizing days of the week, months of the year, and we're also capitalizing holidays, right? And we made an example of January or Monday or New Year's Eve or Christmas Day, right? So now we're going to click the correct capitalization if needed. And if the sentence is already correct, then don't make any changes, right? So, for example, my friends like to go ice skating in January. So, my friends like to go ice skating in January. The word January, is it written correctly? January. It says that we need to capitalize names of the months of the year, and January being the months of the year. And if we write the correct way, and then we're going to write January with a capital letter J. So capital letter J for January, right? Because January is a month of the year. It's month. All right, let's have the dance party next Friday night. Let's have the dance party next Friday night. The word Friday. The word Friday, is that written correctly? Friday. So Friday. And if we look at the word Friday, right, remember we said that days of the week also needs to be capitalized, which means that we're writing Friday with a capital letter. Friday. Right? So Friday is a day of the week. January is a month of a year, and we need to capitalize it. Right? And we even made mention again, we capitalized Friday already. All right, let's go to our test. We are either going to click on the correct capitalization if needed, and if the sentence is already correct, then we're not going to make any form of changes. But if it is not correct, and then we will make changes. School ends the second week in June. So school ends the second week in June. We need to capitalize, or should we capitalize June? Do we write June like option 1, or do we write June like option 2? And if we choose the correct changes that we need to make, then we're going to say June is capital letter. Yes, so well done. June we write with a capital letter. So well done. They say it rains a lot in April. So April. Do we write April like in option 1, or do we write April like in option 2? April being a month of the year. So April, do we write it like option 1 or option 2? All right, then if we choose the correct, or if we make changes, right, we correctly write the month of the year, which is April, then we're going to choose the second option, which is April with a capital letter A. And that is correct. Well done. April is correct. And then we also said that we need to capitalize, for example, holidays, right? So Independence Day. Independence Day. I see my older sister on Independence Day. Do we write Independence Day like option one, or do we write Independence Day like option two? So Independence Day. So I see my older sister on Independence Day. And how are we going to write it? Are we going to choose option one, or are we choosing option two? Independence Day. And if we choose the correct one, we will choose the first one, which is capital letter I for independence, as well as day needs to be capitalized, right? Then we're capitalizing the names of places, geographical features, right? We said countries, cities, states, we need to capitalize. Buildings, monuments, rivers needs to be capitalized. Even like certain street addresses needs to be capitalized, right? Names of a school needs to be capitalized. We don't capitalize words like the or of unless it is the first word of either a sentence, right? So it says, when it was built, the Golden Gate Bridge was longer than other bridges. So Golden Gate Bridge. And if we fix that word Golden Gate Bridge, right, then the G in golden also needs to be capitalized. Golden Gate Bridge. Right? So capital letter G for golden, capital letter G for gate, and capital letter B for bridge. There was a snowstorm in is it Vermont last week. There was a snowstorm in Vermont last week. So Vermont, right? And if we correct that word Vermont, is it Vermont? And then we capitalize the V for Vermont, right? And we capitalize that name of the place. All right, and now we're going to our test. There is a beautiful bridge in San Francisco. San Francisco. So San Francisco, do you write it like with option one, or do you write it like option two? And if we choose the correct one, we will choose the second option because San Francisco, which means that both of these words needs to be capitalized, not just one. And it's the name of a place. Is it always warm in Florida? So is it always warm in Florida? We need to correct that word. So we need to capitalize the F in Florida, right? Because it's the name of a place. And then it says, is Dover Library or Library open on some holidays? Is Dover Library open on some holidays? So is it option one, which is capitalized D for Dover or Dover, and lower cases L for library? Or is it option two, where both are capitalized? All right, so we can say it is option one or option two. All right, I'm gonna go with you with option one, eh? And you see, the thing is, when you make mention of a name of a place, right, which is, for example, Dover Library, because if we just had to say, I'm going to the library, then we write it in lower cases. But as soon as we, for example, name the place and then we write both of it in capital letters, right? But well done, well done. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on capitalization. And we said we capitalize the names of people and pets, right? We capitalize the days of the week, the months of the year, as well as holidays. And we also capitalize the names of places and geographical features, such as countries and cities and monuments and buildings and names of schools, right? We write that in capital letter. All right, so that is not the end of our lesson, grade 2, thank you very much for joining. And there's a holiday on Monday, so you must have an amazing weekend further. Goodbye.